Hello guys and welcome back to Dark Horse FM, and in today's video we are going to Sweden and we are going to try to test out a tactic that my buddy Stan shared with me on Discord. And the name of the tactic is, well, I haven't actually given the tactic a name yet, and even Stan is struggling to come up with the ideal name for this tactic, but it is a 4-2-3-1 tactic system, and it is a tactic I'm going to test with the Swedish side Göteborg. So while it is a 4-2-3-1, it looks kind of wonky. As you can see the way the tactic is set up, it has two inverted wing backs again, but this time we're not using a roaming playmaker in the defensive midfield position. Stan goes for a Regista in the defensive midfield position. The two wide players are one wide playmaker on attack, and then the inverted winger on support duty is playing on the right hand side. There's a shadow striker pressing forward relationship. So we're going to go into the tactic in detail and then see how everything is set up. So remember guys, if you're new to the channel, leave a like on this video if you find it useful for your team, and also remember to subscribe to the channel so you can get notifications when new videos come up. Here at Dark Horse FM, we normally test tactics for teams that are somewhat hidden in the game, teams that you'd say people don't regularly use in Football Manager, or usually test tactics a lot with in Football Manager. So you can subscribe to the channel, you can get updates for all your home club teams, that we can always test them out and then see how well they do with amazing tactics in Football Manager 2022. So then for the tactic, we're going to start with the goalkeeper, and then we'll transition all the way to the forward, and then we'll do the same way in the team instructions. We're going to go with out of possession first, and then we'll transition from there into the in possession instructions. So first off, the goalkeeper is a super keeper on support duty, has no instructions as well. And then the inverted winger on attack duty, both fullbacks are inverted wing backs on attack duty, and they have shoot less often and mark tighter. The inverted wing back on the left hand side has the same instruction. The central defenders are ball playing defenders, so they don't have instructions as well. Stan did tell me that the players actually do have internal player instructions, but I noticed that for the first few players that we've checked, the player instructions are not that many. So for the Regista, the Regista has three instructions: dribble less, shoot less often, and mark tighter. It's tricky how he has been asked to dribble less, because for the Regista I do expect him to get forward a lot, but we're going to see how that works out in the game as well. Looking at the central midfielder is a Carrilero on support duty, also shoot less often, get further forward, so mark tighter. So there we can now see the player that is now expected to get forward. The Carrilero is the player that is expected to get forward. So the right winger is an inverted winger on support duty. His instructions are to take more risks, shoot less often, sit narrower, and to mark tighter. For the white playmaker on the left hand side, he has no instructions whatsoever. So the shadow striker on attack also has no instructions. The pressing forward on support duty has two instructions: dribble less and shoot more often. When the team is out of possession, Stan has included they have a very urgent pressing, that's much more urgent pressing. There's also an instruction to prevent short goalkeeper distributions. This works very well for the pressing forward on support duty as well. I think that works. The defensive line is much higher, but the team has been asked to use a higher line of engagement. Now, I noticed this tends to work because it kind of compresses the field to a smaller block, and then it allows you win the ball back early in this space, knowing that the opposition are going to try to come and pass through here, and if that block is close enough and your players are close enough together, you can win the ball back very easily. The defensive shape, there is an offside trap attached to this tactic. In transition, the team has been asked to counter press and also to play on the counter attack. The goalkeeper has been instructed to distribute the ball to the fullbacks while throwing the ball long. So that's because they have a much higher defensive line. So throwing the ball long to the fullbacks up ahead is probably the most ideal way you can approach that. In possession then, the team has been asked to play out of defense while looking for the overlaps. Now, which is tricky because I noticed that we're using inverted wing backs on the attack duty, right? So it's interesting to see why we're playing with overlaps, but we'll still wait to see how that works out. The team has also been asked to walk the ball into the box. The tempo of the tactic is higher with shorter passing. The passing direction is short. The team has also been asked to run our defense a lot, and the general mentality for the tactic is a positive mentality. Ideally, if you're using a stronger team, you can play this on attacking mentality. I notice it does work, but as I'm going to try with Göteborg, I'm not going to alter the mentality, so it's always going to be on positive. As for set pieces, I know Football Manager has updated the game recently, but I am currently playing on the 22.3 version of FM22. So looking at the corner routines, this is the corner routine that Stan has attached to this tactic. He's using the OP corner, the Virgil van Dijk 50 goals corner routine. And I noticed that in Football Manager, you do have to have a very good central defender in this role for this tactic to work, for this corner routine to work. But this is the way it is. And with corner routines, I noticed I don't really have a set in stone rule for how my corners go. It's what's best for my players that I actually use for corners. So to be honest, that's the way it's set up. But this is the way the corner is. It's the VVD corner. If you haven't heard about it, you can see it as it is on the screen right now, or I might just attach it to the link in the description. I'm not sure yet. Looking at the team's defensive setup, this is how Stan set up the team's corner defensive attributes, corner defensive routine, sorry, and then it's all the same way on the left and on the right hand side. So we'll be back at the end of the season to see how well Göteborg manages to do with this tactic. Currently, they are a team that is predicted to finish, where is it? I'm looking at it. IFK Göteborg are predicted to finish 7th in the league, so we're going to see how well they manage to do with the tactic, if they get better results, or if apparently if they finish anywhere above 7th, or let me say 5th, if they finish anywhere above there, then they probably had a good season with the tactic. So we're going to see how it goes. So guys, we are back at the end of the season, and currently IFK Göteborg have one more match, I guess. I think one more game against AIK. I wish I knew what these names meant. What team is this? AIK. Okay, I don't have an idea how to call them, but looking at the league table so far, IFK Göteborg are first on the table. They have lost 4 games though, but they are first, and that's an outstanding achievement. Their last 5 games have been all wins. So good luck to how they're going to end up finishing the league anyway. They do have 1 game though, and if they do lose against, who are they playing against? AIK, there's a chance that they might not win the league, right? If they do lose, but we don't know. We're going to figure that out much later, I guess. But let's look at how IFK Göteborg managed to execute this tactic. So we'll start with the team stats. Looking at the team stats so far, Göteborg had the highest amount of goals with 72, and then the next team, the second best, was like 54 goals. That's Halmstad BK. The most points per game was 2.24 by IFK Göteborg. Most shots per game, IFK Göteborg as well. Not so much for possession wise. We were second in possession with 55% possession, and then Joe Gardens IF had 58%, but that's still good as well. The least conceded was Joe Gardens as well, and I hope I'm pronouncing these club names well, because I know I'm not really fluent in Swedish, but so far so good. I think I'm trying. The least conceded, so the tactic didn't really concede. Okay, we didn't concede that many goals, but we conceded 28, and then Jude Gardens had 15. I think they were the best teams bar us, right? What did they finish? They had an amazing season, but they drew a lot of games, but that's somebody else's business. Looking at the player stats then, we can see that the top assist was by Alexander GALORE. He had 12, and then Oscar Wendt also had 11. So a lot of assists from our teams, and then Emil Solomonsen is our, what position is our fullback? So let me say the inverted wing back on the right hand side. I always say inverted winger. He also had a great number of assists as well, so he did quite well. And then most goals in the league was also scored by another player that is not from our team, but Marcus Berg from IFK Göteborg had the most goals with 21. That's outstanding too as well. Yeah. All of the outstanding results include expected goals from Marcus Berg was 14.33, and then Alexander GALORE, a lot of team goals as well in here, 71, 71, 70. So a lot of contributions between all our players. And then so the tactic is, I like tactics that are tactics that have emphasis on a lot of teamwork and everybody else pitching in to try and create chances and score goals. That's how good this tactic has turned out for IFK Göteborg. So a team that was predicted to finish 7th ended up winning the league, or has a chance of winning the league. There's a chance that we might not go on, but AIK are currently 6th on the table, so we should be able to beat them. We're just going to see how that turns out to be. So guys, we did go on to win the Swedish Premier League title with IFK Göteborg, a team that was predicted to finish 7th. Yeah, we went on to win the last game against AIK, and we beat them 2-1, although they scored first, but we equalized the game, and then we won the game 2-1 at the end, and that was enough. That was enough to get us over the line. So if you did enjoy this video, remember to leave a like on the video, and also I'm going to leave the tactic down in the description for you to download it in case you want to test it out for yourself and see how it works. Also remember to subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. If you have an interesting team and you have an interesting tactic that you want me to test out for you, or you want me to help you create a tactic for your team to help you overachieve in your football manager, also just to get better results from the results that you're currently having, leave a comment down below and I'll also check out your tactic and check out your team.